What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in today to another episode here at Airbnb Rental Empire. I'm excited to have you guys. For all you subscribers, thank you for being subscribers. And if you haven't already subscribed, I hope you guys do. Because I'm here, I want to provide you guys value to build your Airbnb rental empire just as I've done. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, today what I want to talk to you guys about is the neighborhood that you want to be in. Now, I'm not going to tell you the exact neighborhood that you want to be in, but it's more the kind of area that I look for when I'm renting properties. I've had properties in all kinds of different locations. I've had properties up in the hills. I've had properties in cul-de-sacs. I've had properties on busy streets, etc. You name it, I've done it all. So, I have definitely had experience in terms of all these different areas and neighborhoods, and now I know what it is that I look for. So when I'm looking for a property, it doesn't mean that these are disqualifying factors, but some of the things that I generally do not want in a property, and in most cases, it will be a disqualifying factor, and that is I'm going to call it the noise level of the neighborhood and how quiet and quaint the neighborhood is. I don't want to be in that kind of an area. You don't want to be in that kind of an area either, because the neighbors are going to run you out of town. There's no doubt about it. This whole business model is predicated on being able to do what you do for a while. If you get in and you're doing an Airbnb rental arbitrage for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, that's not where the honey is. You're going to make some money, hopefully. I'm making money very quickly, even month 1 on these properties. But the real fruits of the labor are going to come later down the road, and that's where you want to be in the business for the long haul to be able to capitalize on that. So in regards to the neighborhood itself, where you want to be, I don't want to be in a neighborhood where the neighbors are going to be up my ass and on the city's ass and calling the owner of the property and harassing the tenants. That's not what I want. So in terms of that, that's going to be one thing that I look for that I don't want, is a very quiet neighborhood without a lot of privacy of the property. That's going to be something that I don't want, number one. That's the first item. I've taken those in the past. It hasn't worked out well, and I'm not interested in taking any more of those right now either. That's end of story. Now, contrary to that, in terms of having that quiet neighborhood that is very quaint and the neighbors are going to be on you, I actively look for properties that are located in areas that have some ambient noise. So it could be a busy street. I'm not going to say an airport. I don't really want jets flying over the house over an Airbnb or not, because people are going to complain about that. But if there's ambient noise and the property is on a busy street, I like that kind of a neighborhood. That is something that works well for me. A matter of fact, today I looked at a property that was on a very busy street. There's going to be some traffic noise. It's inevitable that I'm going to have somebody say something about it, but the traffic noise is manageable. There's dual pane windows. The house is set back far from the street. So I'm happy to work with that. The traffic noise issue is actually something that I'm looking forward to on it, because it's going to drown out some of the noise that these guests are going to have. It's inevitable. People are going to go and have a good time at the property. I'm going to make every effort so that they're not having parties there and disrespecting the neighbors. That's really important to me. But nevertheless, they are going to still be enjoying themselves. They're going to want to be playing music during the daytime out by the pool, etc. And if there's traffic noise going by, that's going to drown out a lot of that noise. That is something that is really important for me, and really tells me that I have a way higher likelihood of, again, coming back to being in this for the long haul. If I have a property that the neighbors aren't going to be disturbed, this is likely to work for me for an extended period of time, and I'm not going to be run out of town because of the neighbors, which is something that can happen. Now, another area or kind of qualifying thing that I look for is I like to be in areas. This kind of goes back to the part that when I talk about, a quiet neighborhood, it doesn't necessarily need to be a quiet neighborhood, but if there's apartments nearby, I'm going to say that is going to drive generally more of a, there's going to be more traffic, period. There's going to be more people there because of the apartments. And B, that's going to be not, in most cases, not going to be a very high-end area where people are going to be they're just going to be stuffy and have attitudes and that sort of thing. It's going to be more normal people that are going to not be as involved in terms of your business and what it is that you're doing in terms of operating your Airbnb. So if you have apartments nearby, that's a good thing for sure, because again, people aren't going to be bothered by the fact that there's people coming and going, because when you have a big apartment building nearby, there's always people coming and going. That's just the nature of it. You have guests of the tenants, etc. Now, in terms of the neighborhood, other things that I look for, which is definitely not as important to me, is of course the general stuff, which is, I don't even want to say it's not important to me, because of course it is. You have to have proximity, some sort of a proximity and ease of access to whatever it is that people are drawn to your city or location for. So whether it's a national park, an amusement park, the city itself, whatever it is, you need to be in a decent enough location so that people have reasonable access to that. Unless the whole benefit of your place is to be in a rural setting, which is also something that is very popular, and I think people are more inclined to travel to than they were in the past. So maybe you have a rural setting, it's a kind of a getaway location, that would be different. But the location overall in the scope of your city, location, etc., that does have some importance. There's no doubt about it. Don't discount that. Another thing that is nice is that if you have proximity to a grocery store, this again is not qualifying for me. This is not a qualifier, but proximity to a grocery store, proximity to any bars, nightlife, this is all kind of standard stuff. This isn't, I don't think I'm hopefully not telling you something that you don't already know. But again, having proximity to the grocery store is something that people do value. That does come up in a lot of my reviews. People mention, oh, there's a grocery store just 2 minutes away, or there's a grocery store 5 minutes away. That makes things convenient for guests, especially people that are families that are traveling with children. They need to go in and out and pick things up. You want to make that, they want to have it as easy as possible without a long commute to go get groceries. So those are generally the things that I'm looking for and the things that I'm not looking for when I'm trying to find my next Airbnb rental arbitrage. I try not to be that selective. I don't set those qualifying criteria prior to me cold reaching and making my cold outreach to homeowners. I want to have the owners that are willing to work with me come to me, and then I can qualify them further to see if I'm interested. Then I can determine, okay, the property doesn't fit my criteria because it's too old, or the neighborhood is way too quiet and I think there's going to be problems with the neighbors. Whatever it may be, I want to get a big filter of properties coming to me, and then I can select and cherry pick the ones that are going to be best for me. I hope you guys found a little bit of value in this video. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I'm going to be presenting other videos for you guys here in the near future with a lot of other tips and tricks that I have and I've been using to acquire the Airbnb rental empire that I have, which is right now 15 properties, and it's growing quickly. Thanks for watching, guys.